Tuesday, it's the 2nd of January in the new year, 2024. I just thought I'd do a very quick, or hopefully a very quick video on why we need to get occasionally a bit of extra swarf going. Now, I found, much to my disappointment, that this very nice, very early crown and sword, this attor, well, no, I've got an attor to do as well. No, this is a crown and sword. This is an ERN, nice German crown and sword. And for some strange reason, I only used it a couple of times, and there appeared cracks, or rather chips, small chips on the edge. And obviously, I have now got rid of those by using the 3K. I didn't feel I needed to go to a coarser stone. I'd rather do a little more work on the 3K and get all this swarf going than perhaps, put a few more extra scratches, which I don't need. Anyway, so that's that part done. So we're now down to horrible nicks have now gone. That's now a perfectly good edge. Very smooth, as you can see. It will pass any test known to man, that I'm certain of. Let's sacrifice a tomato. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Remember, it's got to be done all the way along the edge, so it's got to be as sharp at the heel as it is at the toe. So that's heel and toe tested. We'll call that one fine to go on now to the next stage. So that was just purely to reinforce how to get rid of the initial rather bad nicks in a blade. I'm going to do a little bit more on this small attor. This is a very nice little 5/8 German attor, but the edge definitely needs a bevel set. So let's do a little bit of a rotary stroke. I've always found the rotary strokes more effective. You're covering more area of the stone and more removal of the steel. This one probably won't need too much work. I experimented with it the other day. I actually tried to put a cuticle edge on it from next to nothing. Unfortunately, if you use too much slurry on a cuticle, you don't get a very good edge. So rather than go back to the cuticle and try again, I'm going to reset the bevel. Then I'm going to put it on a Lune, because a Lune natural stone not only gives a good edge, it's a lot less work than going through every single synthetic stone in your armory. So I'm going to use my little loop. We'll have a quick look. I'm using a fair bit of pressure. I think it's wise to use a little bit of pressure, a little bit of poundage when you're bevel setting. Obviously, the further and finer you go, the less power you should put in. So I'm putting, I don't know, just a few pounds, just to get the bevel set. Let's wash some of this off. That's washed off the water. Here's a nice little loop. This one is quite useful. It's got a little bright LED, and as you can see, you can get quite close using a tissue, wiping off the edge. Let's see what it's like. It's still rough as a bear's backside, but we'll get rid of that. Yeah, that won't take long. The other thing to check is make sure you have sufficient baby tomatoes. So there's the nail test. Yep, that's pretty good. That's pretty draggy, but not, not on the heel. So even though it is cutting, the heel needs a little bit more work. And then we'll drop it down and we'll go on to a 5K. And after the 5K, I think I'll be fairly happy to go straight onto the Lune natural stone. I don't want to spend too much time on this and waste your time. ladies and gentlemen, but I think it's fairly important just to show how simple it is to get the basics done, because I've got an awful lot of old razors that are going to need a lot of love, and so I don't intend spending my few remaining years engaged in grinding unnecessarily. Do you know, I think this one's worth another quick look. These are my favourite strokes. Also, of course, you can do more rotary strokes. I actually prefer, when I'm finishing off, when I think I'm finishing off an edge, just to do the conventional strokes. As you can see the amount of metal I've removed. You need to. Let's have a little test. Yeah, that's now gripping on the heel, very gripping in the centre, gripping on the toe. Oh my god. Oh, yep, that's done. Right, so another little thing, which is probably a little bit unnecessary, is to kill the edge. Now the reason has been explained to me for killing the edge is that when you then go to your next stone, you can be certain that the edge on the next stone will be not the residual edge from the previous stone. So this seems a somewhat sacrilegious way to do things, but yep, that's dead. Let's try the crown and sword. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Very good. One more go. Yep, very dead. So that's two deaded edges. Let's take away our stones. Go to the next stone, which will be the last synthetic stone. This, as you can see, is a Shapton. Very nice Shapton ceramic whetstone. It's a wine fine. I must say, I love it. It's a lovely stone. It's not that much finer, obviously, but let's just check that it's flat. There's the old pencil test. Diamond plate. Put a few pounds on. That's good. Work up a slurry. Why not? Yep, wash the slurry off. Always do that. You don't want to contaminate your next stone with the slurry of any sort. Now, clean. Okie dokie. Let's bring back the edge. First of all, on the little Ator, let's bring him back. Shouldn't take long. Rotary strokes to get the swarf to show and to take up a bit of steel. I haven't taped because both these razors are fairly well used, they're in good condition, but they are showing little signs of hone wear on the spine, so why bother taping? A little bit of a extra wear is going to make no difference at all. In fact, it's very nice to actually see clearly your hone wear pattern. You can see it's just beginning to darken up. Yeah, that's fine. Let's do some longitudinal strokes. I think we're ready to give this one a little test. See if it's brought the edge back. That's the big advantage, of course, with a synthetic. They're completely reliable. Let's see. Only, yeah, in the middle and toe, very, very good. Heel, not so good. This one needs a little tiny bit more emphasis on the heel, just to even it all up. And once that's set, I'm going to put it on the Lune. But I won't bore you to death. Let's see if we've done any good. Yep. Yep. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Oh, blimey. Yeah, that's a razor. Excuse the pun. That is razor sharp. I think possibly just for luck, just a couple of very light strokes. Giving a little bit of emphasis towards the heel. And that is good enough. Do exactly the same now to this poor crown and sword, which is a lovely bigger blade, very high quality, being ERN, German. It's it just needs a little bit of love, which I intend to give it. Let's see now. How dead was it? Yeah, it was dead. Right, good. And we'll soon bring that back. Roughly the same number of strokes. As you can see, rotary does remove an awful lot of metal. Look at that slurry. Black. Quite black. So showing that metal is going. That rhymed. Right, let's try. Won't take long to bring an edge back when you're on a relatively coarse stone. The golden stone for me, apart from the 3K and this 5K, will be sometimes before going on to a natural, probably wise to put an 8K on it, depending on the sort of natural stone. But I reckon that should have brought the edge back. Let's have a look. Oh, oh my goodness me, that's draggy. Oh, blimey. Don't know if you can see this, but oh, you've only got a touch. Oh, yeah, that's it. That's very good 20th century quality German steel. Should wash off this rather nice wine coloured 5K stone. The other thing I just thought I'd mention, if anybody's still watching my nonsense, is it's tempting to use warm water. Don't. The reason being, warm water oxidizes the steel even quicker. Chemical reactions are what they are, and if you're looking for a quick way to get rust, use warm water. Use the Lune. Let's see what we can do with the Lune. Being only a small stone, as you can see, we don't actually need to bother flattening it, because I know it's already flat. And I just wanted to drive up with this little slurry stone, the required slurry, which is building nicely, as you can see. That's medium light slurry, I would guess. And now we're going straight onto the razors. Let's start with the small Ator, which is still an ERN, still very high quality German. With this, at first, I tend to find not a lot of resistance. I'm sure it's cutting very well, but all we're doing is changing the scratch patterns, going from relatively coarse synthetic to a relatively coarse natural. Having a slurry like this will obviously make deeper scratches than just water. But you know what? This isn't going to be a long job. Yet, you know, I can feel resistance. It's trying to stick. Yeah, already. Isn't that amazing? I reckon it doesn't even need checking under the loop. No, these are magic stones, these Lunes. So I'm going to put this one down, unchecked, I'm going to pick up the Atoll. No, that was the Atoll. No, picking up now the crown and sword, exactly the same. Yeah, nice. Well, I'm using the same slurry because the next slurry is going to be even weaker. A few rotary strokes. All we're doing is balancing out the scratch patterns from the 5K to the scratch patterns now on a Lune. Yeah, that feels pretty good actually. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, it's definitely starting to stick already. So I'm going to call that ready for a lighter slurry. We'll drop the slurries down until in the end we'll just do water. So tiny bit of light slurry. As you can see, it's pretty light. Let's just do a little bit on the Atoll. I'd be lying if I said I could feel a great deal of difference. There isn't a great deal, but almost straight away you can get a sticky feeling. No, that's definitely starting to stick. This is why the feedback on this Lune is so incredible. You do not, in my limited opinion, you do not get the same feedback on some of the other natural stones. So for me, it might not be the best edge in the world, but I tell you what, it's not bad. Right, straight on to the crown and sword. I don't see any reason why two similar steel, similar hollow ground razors of a similar quality and period shouldn't be done together. Because I'm inherently lazy, and to do one at a time and dry the stones and prepare them and don't think so. Yeah, that's feeling pretty good. Do you know, I think we're there. Slightly different feel. This is a bigger blade and it is a little more hollow ground, but it feels pretty good to me. I think that's it. Right, wash it off. There goes your carefully prepared slurry. Straight back to plain water. Make sure there's no slurry left. That's now a clean blade. That's a completely clean Lune. Oh, it's interesting. Yeah, that's starting. Yeah, that's definitely dragging. That's sticking. A little bit more water. I should do it under running water, but then you wouldn't see my feeble attempts. I would say we're not a mile off. I reckon probably no more than a dozen strokes just on the water. I'm going to call that one done. Let's now go to our slightly larger friend, which is the crown and sword, and we'll do the same test with that. Extra water. Yeah. I will put this one under the tap just to see if running water makes any difference. And it does. Oh my goodness me. I can hardly move this blade now. I can hardly move it across the stone. It's sticking. Oh my goodness, that is sticking. That's incredible. What a difference it makes. Difference from a wet stone to running water. Let's just see on our little friend here if it's the same. Not quite the same feel. Yeah, that's sticking. Oh, that is sticking. Good Lord above. Right, so there you have it. That didn't take long. That saved a badly chipped edge on this rather nice, rather large, I think that's over 6/8, it might have been 7/8 crown and sword. So it's a 7/8 crown and sword. Ooh, I wish you could feel this. Bloody hell. I mean, this is just weight of the razor. And I can't move the blade. Right, that's done. So there you are, chaps. That's me done. Let's put this Lune back in its rather posh box. I'll finish doing a few notes later. Let's do a last check. Blimey. Yeah, it feels pretty good. Yeah, oh, this is superior. I'm very pleased this crown and sword, this ERN crown and sword has been saved, because I have shaved it before, and very superior steel, very superior shave. So hopefully now both these two early German razors, early meaning mid 20th century, anyway, they're now fixed. Can I just reinforce one last time? We've been using not dead cold water, but pretty chill water. Now if you're going to go and do something else, for God's sake, do make sure that you've taken all the moisture off your blade, because you're down to basically raw steel after a nice piece of honing, and any warm or even cold water on that edge will start to corrode, and then all that work has been for naught. So there you go, that's 2 razors done. I will try to give them a decent equal stropping, and then I'll test shave them either today or tomorrow. How satisfying is that? So that's 2 razors brought back from the dead, and this will last me and hopefully other generations another 100 years. Can't say that about your horrible disposable double-edged blades, can you? Can't say that about disposable anythings. These will last forever. Anyway, chaps, I hope you enjoyed this little piece of, I don't know, honing by myself. And if you would be so grateful as to follow my channel, I'll come up with more later. See you guys. Bye for now.